when the way I grew up, it was like the women aren't in charge. So the women don't say anything. The women don't preach. The women like just do everything like, you know, as like a support. Scenes. Yeah.
Hey, welcome back to Creative Culture.
Where we do cookie reviews.
Apparently.
They smell really good.
They are good. But welcome back to another episode, guys. These have been a lot of fun. You know, our first ones have been, I think, learning experiences and opportunities to get better at what we do. And
I think we're starting to get it pretty well.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, it's fun.
It is.
I just like sitting here and
just talking,
going crazy with this production, and
there's literally like
a million cameras in here right now.
With a million lights.
Just wait.
Just wait a while.
It's about to
have a big old light.
It's about to go way crazy. Yeah.
Like how Elevation had it. When they did the Maverick City.
Oh yeah.
They had a huge light
just
there.
Massive lights. This whole roof is just gonna be one light. It's a roof light panel. But yeah, we got a fun guest today, guys. Second guest of the pod.
She's very special to you.
Yeah, I'm attracted to this guest. And
we just leave now. Just kidding.
And you know, I've been married to this guest for almost 6 years.
Wow.
Been together almost 8.
Almost 9.
Wait, what? I thought we're going on 8.
No.
We're going on 9?
I think so.
Oh my God.
Bro, you about to hit a decade.
Shoot.
Y'all sound old.
I
know, it's weird. But yeah, we wanted to bring this guest on and talk about some things that she's been through in the last 10 years. Talk about, she's a crazy worship leader and probably my favorite one. Probably my favorite one.
You better say that, bro. What's wrong with you?
I could tell her if she's not.
Well, you know what, low-key, she's like, yeah, she's one of my favorites too.
Yeah, but without further ado, let's welcome Vianey. Yeah.
Hello. That's it.
No, yeah, we wanted to bring you on. First of all, thank you so much for making the effort to be here today. I know it was probably quite the trip for you.
It was such a trip.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Thank you for your time and your
Do we have to pay you for gas?
Right.
Oh, for
mileage.
For trip, mileage, and accommodations.
Sure
for sure.
Yes.
Go ahead, expense that out.
I took Venmo, Cash App.
She's like, a pint of blood.
No, obviously, I don't know if a lot of people know you from being a worship leader, but I feel like maybe most people do that are watching this right now, but they don't know about the other part of your life that me and you have been going through, more so you than me, but have been going through for over the last 10 years. Mm-hmm. Yeah? More than 10 years?
10 years.
10 years.
Yeah. Well, almost 10 years, but yeah.
So I want to talk about that today, but I think we should start it off with kind of worship leading and kind of how that all started. Because I don't know that we've probably talked about this in our relationship, but I don't know that we've really like dove into, honestly, which is cool.
Yeah.
How like everything came about. So rewind the clock for me. I did this with Sean last week too. Right. I said, rewind the clock, take me back to where, you know, everything started, how long you've been doing it, and kind of that whole thing.
The whole shebang.
Yeah.
Well, I will preface by saying this is probably going to be a long podcast because Aaron knows I take very, very long time to talk.
Oh, I don't know how much time we already recording.
Bro.
I'm a very long storyteller.
My daughter's calling me. No,
it's time to go. Yeah, long storyteller, but it's good.
Yeah, so I go off like a long tangent sometimes in the beginning. I'm just kidding.
In the beginning.
No, I started. Okay, so I grew up in church. I started singing like special songs, like, you know, during like the special testimony time.
Was it like right before the preaching?
Yeah, like during that time.
Does anyone have an announcement or something?
Anybody want to speak some words or whatever during that time?
Does anyone have a song?
Yeah. So my parents were the ones that kind of like pushed me to do it. Of course, like you're like little, so it's like you don't know if you have a voice or whatever. Like some kids do nowadays. I'm like, y'all built different.
Everyone can sing now.
And they can do like runs and stuff at like the age of 7. And I'm like, Malia.
She's all 2. Over here singing like an angel.
No, but I started actually singing rancheras, like Mexican ranchera music, Spanish all the time. That's the stuff that I grew up on. Spanish. We were a Spanish congregation, so everything was Spanish. But it wasn't until I turned like 11 is when I actually started being a part of the worship team. And that was only because the pastor that was overseeing our church at the time had moved to a different location. So he wasn't our pastor anymore. And so like his kids are like the musicians and everything. So then we were left with like nobody. Yeah.
Wow.
Until
church feels.
Yeah. So then until somebody else came in to like fill in that spot.
I'm guessing Assemblies of God.
No, apostolic.
Apostolic. Oh, that's the real worshipers too. Shoot, they get down.
So we were a small church. So basically when the pastor had left, we still hadn't gotten the new pastor, or I think it was like in that transition or something like that. But I had started playing keys like very young, and I kind of just taught myself with like books that my mom like had. And I would see like, you know, the ones where it's like it shows you what D is, and it shows you like the little dots of where to put your fingers and like stuff like that. So that's how I learned. And I just kind of like taught myself. And I always was really intrigued with music. I was in band in school and played different instruments. And then just from when the pastor had left is when I was actually like just pushed to play. And the way that I grew up is just like, you just say, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. Okay, I will do that.
Just do it.
Yeah. So I did that, and then just kind of went off from there and been doing it the rest. Well, now I don't really do much now, but yeah.
How long is that now?
I'm almost going to be 29. I know I look great. Thanks. I'm just kidding. Since I was like 11, but I don't know when I started playing. I've been playing for a while, but like I wasn't like the greatest.
You don't play anymore, really?
I don't play anymore. I just mostly sing.
So singing wise,
because you play for her now.
I'm retiring too, bro.
Oh shoot!
I'm retiring from playing.
Breaking news over here.
Breaking news.
So interrupt this program.
No. Here's some cookies. Would you like? Yeah. No, as a worship leader, I know you have a lot of young worship leaders that we just noticed that look up to you. Like that's just the thing. Probably because you look really young, and you know, young worship leaders always look up to somebody. So if you were to tell them, because I know you were in once this position to where you weren't like speaking during these little downtimes of worship, to where now you're, you know, ad-libbing and adding just these little fills of
going in.
Of any of that. You obviously didn't start there.
Yeah.
So what kind of encouragement, or what would you tell somebody that's in that kind of still nervous stage of, I'm barely able to sing words of an actual song, much less asking me to ad lib and speak over people. Right. Like, what kind of advice would you give them? Or
that's a question.
Right. Honestly, for me, it was kind of like a switch that went off for me, where I did grow up in that. Like it was just kind of like a background type of person. I wasn't even the leader of anything, because when the way I grew up, it was like the women aren't in charge. So the women don't say anything. The women don't preach. The women like just do everything as like
behind
a support.
Scenes.
Yeah. So even though I was the one that would lead and like do the signs, to like, first, second, bridge. What are you doing?
Sorry.
He wanted to feel my sweatpants. They look real soft. You better watch out. You're gonna die, bro. I don't wanna. I'm gonna die too. I don't wanna die.
I'm so sorry.
It's on my worship.
So even I would be the one to be like directing like the worship team to tell them like, we're going to the bridge, to the chorus, whatever. But even though I would do that and I would still get the songs together, like play, like all this stuff, I still wasn't even given the title of like, you're the director type of person.
The worship leader or whatever.
Yeah. Because it was like, women don't do that.
Yeah.
So going out of that and having to switch from that type of environment to a new one where women do that and ad lib and everything. It was very hard for me. And me and my in-laws have a joke where it was like kind of like silent when, not silent, but like music was playing, where it was like a chance to like go deeper. And I just, because I had never done it, I was just like kind of silent and never really did anything. And his dad was just like, talk, B. I was like,
Your dad really did that?
Well, my dad's like a very seasoned worship leader. Been doing it for a really, really long time. And
So
I think
he knows it, yeah.
I think for him, it was like from a mentor standpoint.
Yeah, he wasn't doing like.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was just kind of like the joke of just be like, talk, like say something.
I think because you know that too,
Right.
but just sharing with Nima, he always saw like that next level in her that she's just not there yet. And because she was young and just hadn't had the experience, but yeah, he always had.
He wanted to push her
He,
towards
he definitely pressed her to like,
That's amazing.
we know where you can get to type of thing.
Yeah. So at the very beginning, it was very much like that. Like I didn't know what to say. Like I was just very much in my own feelings. Like, you know, I didn't want to look dumb type of thing. So it was, like I said, like a on and off switch for me. One time when I saw, or I read like an article or something where it was like, how do you, I don't remember if I Googled something. I don't remember what it was, but it was just basically like, how do you learn to like ad lib or things like that? But one of the things that it said was, stop comparing yourself to something that you're trying to be and just be yourself. Because, and I've told Aaron this too, like when we've done certain things and he's like, well, I don't speak like Mike Todd. I don't speak like blah, blah, blah. Or I don't sing like this person. Or I don't sing like Whitney Houston or whatever it is. But it's like, but if you were trying to be like that, your name would be that.
Eesh.
Your name would be that
Just gonna
person.
unplug this mic.
We'll see you in the next episode.
Jesus.
You know, so, and honestly, that was something for me that I was like, that's so true, because I'm like, why am I trying to be singing like Mariah McManus, or why am I trying to lead like, and I'm not saying that to not lead like them. It should be a great example to see that and get examples from them or whatever it is, and seeing how they transition or whatever it is. But for me, it was like, I feel like comparison is just such a big thing where we try to compare ourselves with, we have to speak like this person. So then we try to practice and talk like them, or speak like them, or sing exactly like them, do their exact same runs and da 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 da. And I'm like, no, like at the end of the day, you're just worshiping.
Yeah.
And we have always said an audience of one. And there's always that comparison that we try to have towards others, and we need to sing like them, be like them, dress like them, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no, you were called to be you. Because if you were called to be somebody else, then you would be named after them.
When was it that you like figured that out in a sense?
Like last Tuesday. No, just kidding.
It's like yesterday.
Like yesterday. Just
Last
kidding.
Sunday. Yeah.
Right. No, I would say it was a couple years ago. Yeah. Because then Aaron started noticing like you've stepped out a lot. Like I was like I said, it was literally like night and day for me, where I was like, why am I going to try to hinder myself and basically hold myself back of worshiping God in the sense, and I'm basically like robbing him of the worship that he deserves.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And we're so worried about who's watching us, who's going to judge us. Am I wearing the right shoes? Am I, wearing the right clothes? And that's what I was more in the very beginning, like, because I came from a place where constantly was like your skirt. I wear skirts all the time, dresses or whatever. It's like you looked at what you got, what you were wearing. If you were wearing makeup, if you cut your hair, like jewelry, all this stuff. And so it kind of just was like I guess trauma to me, if you want to say that, because then when I went to this new church, we were waiting, or I was waiting, I will say I was waiting, of like, somebody's going to say something about me because I'm up on the stage and I'm wearing this, or da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
And you get so in your head of like,
dang,
some people are going to say something and this and that. And it just doesn't give you that freedom to worship genuinely.
I have a great example about that too. When I first started playing drums, I would have to, not that I would have to, but it was kind of like a thing to button up bow tie or tie, jeans, you know,
Bow tie,
they had to be
Bow tie.
like, if they weren't slack, they had to be dark jeans or black jeans or whatever. So like when I first started playing drums, I've always been chunky my whole life. So like I was very uncomfortable, couldn't breathe. I was sweating, you know, like these buns about to pop. And it wasn't until until I shifted into something else, into another church, where they were like, dude, as long as you don't wear shorts or joggers, like sweatpant joggers, you can come however you like. And it got so much easier for me. And I never like I always tell Ashley, like, I hate when people record. Like when sometimes I'll look up and like I know I'm on camera because we have like a confidence monitor at our church, and I'm like, dang, they're on me. And I know I look like constipated. I know I look like I'm mad. I know I look like frustrated. So like I know I look everything.
You don't smile when you play anyway.
No, but I used to, and I looked awkward, and that was just because that was
I just pictured.
Because they told me I had to, like, and not that they told me, but they were like, "Hey, you're on camera, you have to look a certain way."
Right.
Yeah.
Man, it wasn't until I actually heard a worship drummer, just flat out say like, "Are you worshiping them or worshiping God?" And I was just like, "Boy, I'm finna look ugly now."
Yeah.
So now I look constipated when I play.
Right.
It's all good.
Yeah.
Ashley says all the time, she said, "Babe, there you go," because she says I make up one face. And she reminds me every single Sunday.
What's the face? What's the face you make me play?
Because I don't know. Yes, you do. You said I like put my lip out or something. Yeah, she says I look like that, like a duck or something. I don't know. And hey, I'm okay with that.
Aaron has one too. But he does his head, like when he does his little accent things. He does that.
Oh,
That's the black and
that's
that's the
5%, right?
That's the 5%.
No, that's good. You said something that I feel like, again, I think a lot of young worship leaders get stuck here is they don't want to look dumb because their friends are watching. Like, did you ever have that? Because I don't. We've never talked about that. If you've ever felt like I don't want to lift my hands, or I just don't want to look dumb in front of my friends. Have you ever felt that or had that?
In the very beginning, yeah. Because again, it was like I came from a judgmental like environment, and it was like, but it wasn't even like my friends. It was just like anyone in general, like no matter who was in the audience type of situation, or even my siblings. Like where I remember in the very beginning, like when I was learning to play, and then I had to learn new songs and things like that. I would mess up, and I legit would get like so nervous and like almost like not scared, but just like anxious, I guess, in a way. Yeah. Where I would get like mad at myself, like, oh my God, you just messed up. And then now if I were to play something, I'm like, I laugh. Like,
I know exactly how you feel.
I'm like, well, it is what it is, And I felt like that in the very, very beginning. And then, I don't know. Like, just like I said, like it just switched where it was like.
Yeah. I mean, very different compared to kind of the churches that we go to today in today's culture, specifically when it comes to worship leading. I think a lot of kids now just get so caught up in, I don't want to look like the churchy, right? Or I don't want to look uncool. Yeah.
Like they ask me all the time, like, why don't I do roles and stuff like that? I'm like, because then I'm showing off. Like, to me, it's showing off that is God going to be happy with that beautiful role I just did, or is he going to be more happy when I'm looking ugly, frustrated, and constipated worshiping him? He
probably likes both.
Yeah, he probably does, but like I've gotten more looser now when I do stuff.
I don't think it's necessarily that it's you showing off, because Aaron could be playing and do like a run, but it's not even so much that unless it's coming from a heart and an ego of showing off.
I think it's more like when they're telling me do it. Oh, okay. It's just like, want to.
Yeah,
that's different.
Like that. Me, I never like. Ashley knows that my worship on drums is my worship to God. I don't care. Yeah. Like, I mess up all the time.
Because then when you say that, because I'm like, if it's coming from an ego and a prideful heart, then I would say then it's more like, okay, I'm going to show off and look at my run type of thing. Because we know some people like that too.
Oh, I know quite a few.
We would always make this joke, and we'd see some drummers and they do this crazy, this is my, I'm like, how are you doing such a...
Oceans. Is it Oceans? It's like the most peaceful moments ever. The guy's just going ham.
You're just like...
Yeah, that's
I watch
different.
I watch that
different.
video at least once a month just to
That's
remind me
funny.
to
Yeah.
never be that guy.
That's probably a drummer's video.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm also saying, like, if you're coming from a genuine worship and you know that you're giving it your all in a way of a worship, why not do that role? To be like, bro, like, I learned this just for you, God. Like, here you go.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't even like I'm not very good, but even the little things that I plan.
This guy over here.
Stop
I'm gonna
it,
slap you
please.
with this cookie. Put all that cream cheese on your face, bro.
Even what I'm saying is the little runs that I'll add. It's not even ever something I even think about. It just kind of happens.
You just do it.
Yeah.
I can tell. Like you're that real focused guy, and you're just like playing.
It's not even focused. I'm just kind of like I'm just vibing. That's why
Yeah,
you'll
yeah,
see
yeah,
the
yeah.
like
Little twitch.
little twitch in
Yeah.
there. But
No. And then that's where we had a conversation the other day because he sent me the recording of the one that we had here.
Yeah.
When we did the little worship night.
Uh-huh.
And there was a part that I had like ad-libbed and stuff. And I told him, I was like, I know when I ad-lib on certain things, and if I don't remember what I say, I know that's God because I'll say it. And then I went back and listened to it and I was like, I said that? When did I say that? And I'm like, there's been
That's
situations
crazy.
like that when I
That's the
have
best.
led in like worship or something, and then somebody said like, you said this in worship, and I'm like, I did, like,
You're like, yeah.
that was
Girl,
God.
I know, girl.
It's all
Yes.
God.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's amazing.
I feel like that's God because I'm like, I don't remember what I said, and then I'm just like, it just blows,
Yeah.
you know.
That's the best.
What's on the spot? Another on the spot question.
Okay.
Who's your favorite worship leading bands right now?
Just because we saw them in concert, I would say Maverick City.
Any other ones that you like? Maverick City, crazy good. Yeah.
One of my all-time favorite worship leaders, I wouldn't necessarily be band, but
That's
just
fine.
leaders. Mariah McManus.
Mm-hmm.
I love her genuine worship. She's just genuine, like,
It's good.
yeah.
Yeah.
But Stephanie Gretzinger,
Great singer.
her too. But not like the ones that you see like in videos. Like when you look at their church ones and you see how they worship in like church
Yeah.
and stuff, and their genuine worship, like where Stephanie Gretzinger is just like on the floor and just like,
I got
you
to
know.
see that firsthand one day. She was at
That's
a church
cool.
and I never felt the presence of God like that
Mm-hmm.
during worship. I to this day, I still haven't. Like, it was
Crazy.
gold dust literally falling from, like, it was one of them moments that you're like, oh, like, she was literally laid out
Yeah.
on the floor. Shoes were over there somewhere on the other side of the stage where
She
she
always
was,
is barefoot.
where she was
Yeah.
supposed
She's
to be.
always
though.
barefoot.
But she was standing over there.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then she was all the way on the other side, literally.
Well, she was at
like, laid
Outcry
out.
too.
Yep.
Yeah.
She was there at Outcry and she
No shoes?
Yeah, no shoes. Like just crazy. I was like, I
Her
don't-
bottom of her feet must be rough.
yeah, I will say like Outcry too when we went to
Sorry.
that conference.
Just things I
You
think
need
about.
a petty. Is that the one?
Right.
Petty
A pedicure.
for the feet?
Yeah.
Not Manny.
No.
Nothing.
All right.
Maybe
Mine.
because they're manly.
So sorry, I just ruined that.
Yeah.
Ruined that moment.
But she was at Outcry too, and I just remember like being in that conference too. Like Outcry was honestly like a life changing.
That was life changing for sure.
And I just remember seeing them all up there because Mariah McManus was there too. She also spoke in the before
breakout sessions.
Yeah, and then I just remember being like, I want to be like that type of a worship leader, and I think a lot of it too is just like I've always told myself in any situation of worship leading, like I know there's some days like you get up and you're like, oh, I don't want to go, like blah, blah, blah. And it's like, but I feel like I've always strived to like, even if I was in that mood, I know once I start a song or lead a song, like no matter what's going on, like it's still my worship.
Yeah.
Like I have a genuine worship towards God because no matter what's going on around, no matter your dad would always say, no matter if the cat kicked the dog and the dog kicked the
burns,
cat.
the beans burned.
Yeah.
And
I always stepped into that atmosphere. Like I may not feel like I want to be here
yeah.
or whatever it is, but my worship's always going to be genuine.
Mm-hmm.
And it's always going to be
That's
my
good.
all every single time,
That's
Yeah.
real good.
no matter the situation.
So we want to talk about something that even on any of our pages on social media and on nothing we've never talked about before.
Mhm.
And most people barely found out about all this
Yeah.
as of recently, just because we had to tell some people.
Right.
whether it was for prayer or for job reasons or whatever it was.
Yeah.
So I don't even know how to describe this. So I might just let you kind of take it and kind of explain why certain things have happened. Because what do you want me to say? You're not from here.
Well, it's not like these people follow me. I don't know.
She said.
Well, how do I even say it? You are not from here originally.
Right.
You were born in a different country.
Mars. Just kidding.
That's a whole different planet. Oh, shoot. How's it over there? No.
Hot. Just kidding.
You were born in Mexico,
Mm-hmm.
and you were brought here to the United States
Mm-hmm.
when you were like a week old.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Couldn't wait 1 week.
Nope.
Nope.
Mm-mm.
Came out.
Mm-hmm.
And that being what it is in our world and country, like
Mm-hmm.
that's something that has to be like either fixed or you go back
Right.
to Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
So over the last, probably since you've been in high school and stuff,
Yeah.
it's been something you've been dealing with and having to deal with. So what's the process like? What's the journey been? I know, just a big exhale. Yeah. How did it start? Like, when did you first get into it? Was when Obama was president,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
And he did the Dreamers Act
Yeah.
called
Well,
DACA or whatever.
Yeah. So I started this process back in 2012,
oh, wow.
probably the end of 2011, because there was rumors of it like about to like start or whatever. But I applied for my DACA and I basically became a dreamer in 2012 is how long I've had it. And this is even before I even met Aaron.
Mm-hmm.
So
Wow.
when I started all of this, and it's funny because we were talking about it when I think we were over there in Mexico, but I never really knew that I was an immigrant until like obviously when I graduated, because it's like now you have to like get a job and like all these things, but it's like you don't have those things to get a job, you know, as other people do.
Yeah.
And I was like thinking about it, and I was like, I hear all these stories of like different people that like, you know, get bullied or like, you know, get told something if their parents are immigrants or if you are or whatever. But I'm like, I feel like I never even really told people, but it wasn't even like if I was like embarrassed, I just never saw it as like a big thing for me until after I graduated, because I graduated in 2011. So that's when obviously like I had to look for a job and like all this stuff. 2011.
It's all about 2012. Boom.
I didn't graduate.
You didn't graduate?
I got kicked out of school.
Bro, go back to school.
You just didn't get your diploma?
It's just a long story.
We'll talk about that in
it.
another podcast.
We'll talk about a whole. Yeah,
Okay.
that's a good another one. That's a great other topic.
I'm sorry, 2011.
Yes. So, yeah. So 2012 is when I started my application process to get my DACA. I had that for about 2016. Because then when we got married is when I started the process to getting my green card. So my residency, through marriage.
Yep.
And everything that I did was through a lawyer and everything. So we applied, paid a bunch of money, a lot of money.
You had an attorney since 2012 then?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I wanted to make sure that everything was right.
Done right. Yeah.
It was also me and my brother. So
That's crazy.
yeah, we wanted to make sure everything was right. And then just because it's like you don't know what goes on, and like a lot of people just get scared because it's like, you know, you are here illegally, and you hear a lot of stories of like, you know, people give out their information to the government thinking that they're going to get help, and then next thing you know, they're like getting taken or whatever it is, or showing up at their house and getting deported and like all this stuff.
The scary stories.
Yeah. So we wanted to make sure that we were like good. So we got like an immigration lawyer and applied for everything. And when you apply, you have to like have all these documents of like making sure that you were here at the age that you said you were here. So you have to get like all this type
Elementary school records,
Yeah.
vaccination
that you
records.
graduate,
That's crazy.
yeah, everything that you've ever been to, like everything. Dental record, like anything that you can find that proves that
That has
you were
your name,
here, that
yeah.
has your name.
And then probably an address.
Yeah, that shows that
Wow.
you've lived here your entire life is like what you needed to bring, just so you were able to get approved, you know, for even the DACA, you know, itself. So we applied after that, you know, even though we had started the process to getting my green card, I still had my DACA. So we started in 2016. We did all the steps. There's like a couple of steps that you have to go through. And then the last step is going to Mexico, and you have to do an interview at the consulate there. And then they approve you or not of like, if you can.
Whether you're allowed to come back
Yeah.
to the U.S.
Yeah.
On the spot, they'll tell you, yeah, you're staying here for however long now,
Mm-hmm.
or you can go back home
Yeah.
Wow.
to your life.
And we should have gone sooner, but because of COVID, it
Yeah.
pushed everything back.
Well, yeah, of course, yeah.
And they closed the borders and everything else too. So it just pushed everything way back. And we were like, my DACA was about to expire because you have to renew every 2 years. And we were like, oh, by the time like it's gonna, you know, expire in 2020, like we're gonna be over there, like
Nope.
we're gonna be good. And nope, it got pushed back because of COVID, and we had to reapply for that and pay more money for that.
My goodness.
COVID.
Thank you, COVID.
Yeah.
We appreciate you.
Right. So, yeah. What else did you want me to say?
Well, I guess you can talk about your experience in Mexico now, and
Yeah, so Mexico sucks.
some people are gonna get mad at that.
I know. I'm sorry, but
Can you just bleep it
honestly,
right there? No,
right?
just kidding.
But
Bleep, bleep,
no,
bleep, bleep, bleep.
not every part of Mexico sucks. Just that area alone.
Where you guys were at?
So we went to Ciudad Juarez, and every single person that has been either in Mexico or has come from Mexico, and we mentioned we're going to Ciudad Juarez. Oh, you're going there.
Or like the eyes big, like,
like-
you're going there.
And then everybody's like,
Were y'all staying in the hood or what?
Yeah.
That's
Bro.
like one of the worst parts
Yeah.
of Mexico you can go
I
to.
thought Michoacán.
there's
What
a
they
couple
say?
of places, but that's one of them too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like on the top 5 list of places you
Well,
should
thank
go.
God y'all came back
Right?
safe, cause
Right?
make sure nobody following y'all.
Right. Literally.
It's the car that pulls
And
up.
then everybody's like, don't wear this, don't wear that, don't take this, don't wear like
Sheesh.
the flashy shoes, don't take a taxi anywhere. When you walk on the sidewalk, don't talk to anyone, don't look at them, like don't make eye contact. You just go wherever you need to go, and then you just leave, and that's it. Like, oh.
So we thought we were walking into craziness.
Yeah.
We didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
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 Whoa.
So I took a beat pair of Nikes,
I
And-
went to Walmart, got the fake
Right?
Jordans.
long sleeve shirts. I don't want to show tattoos or
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah.
But it wasn't even like that where we were.
Where we were, it was actually pretty safe. But they were like, but don't leave that area.
That makes sense though.
Yeah, because they were like, obviously when you get into like the ghetto areas, they're like it gets more crazier. But yeah, we went, and then
Y'all should have
so
went with a shooter. No, I'm just kidding.
Right.
Just kidding. Just kidding. Sorry. Sorry.
Bleep.
No, you could just leave that there.
no, but it was pretty crazy because it was my first time going into Mexico after being gone for so long. Well, I guess never being there at all.
Really being there.
You were only there for a week.
Yeah, literally. So yeah, but even then it was like my process and everything was easy. The only thing that was just like frustrating was just like how they treat you. And that's why I said like when I was here and like I said, like I never got bullied for being an immigrant or anything
Yeah.
like that. But when you go there, they make you feel like you're less than because you're like going through this process. So it's like,
So they neglect you because
yeah, it was
you're
almost
not
like
trying to stay there.
right, or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah, it was like so different because it was like, so like the first initial appointment you have to do is a medical exam, and it's like nobody's telling you anything. Like you just walk in, they're like, okay, you go here, go there. Okay, go up the stairs to the left. That's your next one. But they don't tell you like what the steps are, like all this stuff. Nobody communicates anything with you.
Wow.
And literally the only reason we knew where to go was because of the driver that took us to our hotel. And he was like, okay, like, because everybody goes there for the exact same reason. That's why it's like a little bit more safer. But everybody's there for the exact same thing, to like get their visas or whatever type of.
Do something.
Yeah.
Get whatever you can.
Whether it's like student, you know, working, like whatever it is. So everybody's there for the exact same thing. But again, it's like nobody tells you anything. Nobody tells you like information. And I told Aaron, I was like, I almost feel like I'm in Squid Games, because it's literally like, yeah, because I was like, it's.
I didn't watch it. So.
Yeah.
Oh,
because it's literally
it's
like
not that good.
They tell you like, go here. Okay, now go over there. Okay, now take off your shoes and you're gonna go over there. And like, but nobody's explaining anything on what they're gonna do.
Heck
like nothing. Like it's so, and then because you can't like fight people or else they're gonna freaking deny you or something. And then they don't tell you. So like they had to take my blood, like all this stuff. They don't tell you what they're taking it for. They don't tell you like what they're giving you vaccines for.
They
like
put
what
two
they do,
chips in each arm.
They put a little electrical thing in her neck.
Right.
A little tracker.
Yeah, but it's like they don't explain anything. So then after that, I was like, okay, done, whatever. And then we leave, and then the next appointment was fingerprints. So we show up, and then that was the other thing too. Yeah, literally. But that was the other thing too, is like nobody tells you when to show up for your time because you have certain appointment times. But like if you,
it's like they want you to get denied.
Right, yeah, it's so weird. And then it's like you show up, but it's like you don't know what time, so it's like you don't know if it's too early, too late, like nothing.
That's crazy.
But one of the bigger things that I told Aaron was like, even if you had these appointment times, it didn't matter.
It didn't matter.
Because they just took in whoever.
So you're just going to have to wait until they call your name.
Yeah. So my last appointment was an interview. And they even changed that because I'm like, they're just wanting to like get people for all this money.
That was trippy.
Because it was,
it's a money thing.
When my brother went through the exact same thing. He did the same thing. And then, but when he went, it was kind of the same thing, medical, fingerprint, and then the interview. But when they did his interview, he went in, did the interview, and then just left. Like, and they approved him like right then and there. Now they're doing it. You go, do everything, do your interview, but it's only giving documents. They ask you for certain documents, and they're like, okay, come back tomorrow.
So an additional interview now.
Oh, they're doing it on, yeah. Wow, they're playing the system.
Oh, yeah.
And blaming COVID. Oh, we got to, COVID distancing apart and stuff.
Right. But then
and
nobody's doing
following
COVID.
anything.
And then, like I said, we don't know when to show up because it's like when I left my fingerprint, they're like, okay, don't show up more than 20 minutes to your interview appointment. And then I go to ask the people because you pass or whatever. And then I'm like, okay, they said not to show up like 20 minutes. I just want to make sure. And they're like, no, everything's on the sign. Like they're super rude to you. And then you look at the sign, don't show up more than 15 minutes. And it's like nobody's communication is like straight.
That's on purpose for sure.
So it's so terrible.
I thank God that you're here though, and you're here because
could have been back on my own.
How was it for you?
We've talked about this a little bit. It was very vulnerable, because I don't speak Spanish like at all.
Yeah,
like I can understand a little bit, and I can understand if you're like talking about me or something.
Well, I think everyone has that about them.
Do they? I don't know. But it was super vulnerable because I'm usually the one that goes to the hotel and like, this is what's going on, or checking us in and all that, or I order the food or whatever it is. I couldn't even order a meal for myself, bro. And like no one, like you would think like being like a touristy area, like they would speak a little bit more English. And I'm not going to say because America doesn't do that either.
Yeah.
But I mean, they have people at least sometimes at some places that will be like, hey, Spanish speaker or whatever here,
or like interpreter, yeah.
Over there, like they'll just look at you and you just feel like the dumbest person in the world.
Like we went to the movies and they have Spanish.
So this is a thing for y'all, movies, huh?
Oh, bro, we're big movie people.
Love it.
Yeah.
And we went, but everything's in Spanish. All the movies are in Spanish. But my brother had said that they do some movies in English. But it doesn't say like the movie's in English and it's subtitled in Spanish, or the movie's in Spanish subtitled in English. All it says is Spanish or sub. So we're like, so subtitle what?
Is it like subs in English or is it subs in Spanish? Like you don't know.
So then we show up and we go and we talked to the guy that was working there. And we're like, hey, like is the movie? I think we were trying to watch Venom.
Bro, he played us so hard.
We were like, hey, is it like one of the movies in English? He's like, no. Like he was just like, no. He didn't even explain like nothing.
And like every single movie was offered in English
Yeah.
when we figured it out.
Yeah. And it
He
was
was just
subtitled
like,
in Spanish. No.
Not
Like,
having
he was
no
just
time
So
for
did you
us.
watch Venom?
Yeah.
We watched Venom and Eternals.
Okay.
Yeah. But stuff
Yeah.
like that, I felt super vulnerable there. And like, it was just, as soon as I got back to Texas, like when we were done, I was like walking all tall, and
You see
I went up
Right?
to the counter to check us in at the hotel.
They're
I
like,
was like,
"What's the
I'm
name?"
here for Aaron. My
Yeah.
last name is Munoz. This is my card.
Yeah. He was all like,
Ordering food and
Walking
stuff.
taller.
And
Oh, boys just
Stuff.
order random stuff. on
I don't even
purpose.
want this, but I can say it in English
Yeah.
here.
I had 3 tacos. I said 3 tacos.
I want 3 tacos.
That's the thumb didn't come out. He's all just giving it away. Hey,
Right.
you want 3 tacos? All right,
Bro, that's
Can
how
I
it
get
was.
4, actually.
That's how it was though, man.
Yeah.
And like, it wasn't even, I know they said like, you know, don't wear nothing flashy or anything like that. But the place we were in, people wearing Yeezys
bro.
and
yeah.
Jordans. And the only sketchy part was the one time we were in the food court. And you know how normally we have our phones down, like on the table? Like, I didn't see a lot of people with 3 cameras on their phones there. And there was some dude like making eye contact, like from across the way.
Yeah.
And like, V's like, he's looking at your phone.
You
He's
gotta at least protect yourself, right?
me?
Yeah.
I'm bigger than him and younger, so
Boy said,
I can
I'm
do
about to
okay.
pick up my wife and
I
run.
can do okay.
Get on my back, babe. Let's go.
Yeah, but
No. I know. But
Yeah.
that was like the only sketchy part. Like, he was definitely making
Yeah.
like eye contact with my phone and was like walking straight towards us.
that's weird. See, I didn't experience too much of that in Puerto Rico, probably because, like, I know Ashley probably felt a little different because everyone was intrigued with her Mexican Spanish
Really?
over there. Yeah, it's weird.
At
That
least
they,
you can speak
look,
the
Puerto
language.
Ricans love Mexicans. I don't
Oh,
think people
really?
understand that.
That's
There's
funny.
like, why is there a taco shop here? Like, we're not. Yeah, there's a ton of Mexican restaurants. I'm like, we're not even where's the Puerto Rican food? I'm in Puerto. I don't want Mexican food. I have a Mexican
At home. That's
Like,
what
I
they
have
said.
a
It's at
Mexican.
home.
Yeah, like I have, but yeah, it was crazy, man.
I was gonna
Like,
ask you about it too. Like, what was your guys' experience?
It's just crazy the experience, like how
Oh,
you
yeah.
obviously you had to go there for a certain reason, but even the way that they treated you.
Yeah, and it's so like weird because it's like, you know, everybody's Mexican there. They all speak Spanish, like they're all speaking Spanish to each other and everything. But it was
That's
like
crazy.
but like all the workers that are there, terrible customer service for anybody.
They probably do it on purpose.
I think so.
They're probably extremely nice people, but they do it on purpose.
Yeah, because then I even told Aaron, I was like, the only reason I knew how to get around or what was happening or where to go or anything was because of the people in line. Because some of the people in line were either like they were there again.
This is like my 3rd time
Yeah,
doing
this
it.
is like my 3rd time doing it or whatever, or they had to come back for something or whatever it was. So they
Wow,
had to
that's
do it
crazy.
again. So they were the ones like helping me out to know like what was going out or what was going on or whatever.
And then you had to obviously pay for your stay. You
Yeah.
had to pay for everything.
Oh, yeah. So then-
you guys were there for how long?
Bro,
12 nights.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So
it felt
then-
like a month for me.
It was a
So-
long time.
like I said, like, so the first initial appointment you go, you just give your documents and they tell you, okay, come back tomorrow, whatever. So I show up the next day. We're already there. I was already waiting 3 hours. Still waiting. I hadn't even been seen yet or nothing. Still waiting in line. And then somebody comes out. We need to cancel everybody's appointment because we have no water.
Oh, yeah.
So everybody needs to leave.
That was her final appointment.
That was my final one
like,
to
decision
like, get
day.
approved. Yeah. And then they're all like, everybody needs to leave and everybody's appointment's going to be rescheduled for Monday because we have no water.
And what was that? What day was that?
That was on Friday.
That was a Friday.
Oh, wow.
I remember. I think I texted you that day. I was like, they just canceled, and now
I
we're
know,
waiting
I
here.
remember. I
Yeah.
thought, yeah, okay. Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember you text me. You're
So
like,
of course
dude,
it's like it's still
yeah.
in office, so you have to wait the whole weekend and everything.
Bro, can you imagine? Like, I'm outside. Like, as soon as I see her, like, I'm gonna know off of her facial expression, like, what happened. And I see her, and she just has this blank look on her face,
So
and
you're
I'm like, oh, what
Yeah.
just happened? Like, what's happening?
Yeah.
You're like,
You're like, you better go back inside and get it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
we do.
that
Yeah.
just delayed everything else, and that's what made it, I think, wait so long.
Yeah.
Because not only did they have to catch up on all those appointments that were supposed to happen,
Yeah.
now they're supposed to catch up on the appointments that were scheduled for the day of the reschedule,
Right.
and then everything was just pushed.
Yeah.
jeez.
So
So-
then we show up Monday. Of course, there's like huge.
Yeah, that was a crazy
all the way
line.
around
How many
the
people
corner.
you think roughly? If
Dude.
you can,
I don't even
100,
know.
over 100.
Over
Over
like
100.
500.
Yeah.
Oh shoot.
Plus the
Plus-
300-400 people waiting for their families on the
Yeah.
other side that I
Everybody
was
waits
with.
yeah, everybody waits outside for their families and like all that. But then all the people that are in line, like it's a lot of people.
Yeah, it's a lot of people.
Yeah. And that's why I said, like, even if you have an appointment, like, it does not matter.
No.
Like, they didn't check what time. Like, I'm like, where other places would be like, oh, you had an appointment on Friday, like, move up here, like, we'll get you in, like, faster or something.
They're like, no, you can wait.
Yeah. They're like,
Wow,
everybody's all in the same line. Doesn't matter what time your appointment was. So I went in on Monday at 7:30. We got there 7:30 because we're like, it's gonna be packed. Like, you know, let's get there earlier because they open at 7. The line was already around the corner, like all the way up to, like, you know, because then they have like the outside, and then they also have like another one that's inside, like 3 or 4 different other lines inside. And
so DMV times like 100.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a good comparison.
Because
so then
DMV is terrible.
Yeah. So then, you know, like I said, we show up 7:30. I didn't leave, and I was like one of the last ones.
They're here
until like
the
3 o'clock was when we got out. Yeah.
So you spent the whole day?
The whole day. And this is why I said, like, they don't care, because I'm like, you can't take a phone in there. You can't take anything electronic in there. There's no bathroom, so you're like waiting in line this entire time.
Bro, I'm wearing a diaper. I'm sorry.
I felt so bad for her.
You're like, and then people are showing up like suited and booted, because it's like you're going in for an interview, and like you don't want to get like, you look like a thug or something, or like you just rolled out of bed.
You look homeless,
right? Or some people did though, like they didn't care, and they're like, I'm just here for my interview, like all the hair natted and stuff. So you're like, okay,
the pizza's here.
He really brought you pizza.
Yeah. So then, like, you show up, and then like, and that's why I was telling Aaron, I'm like, it does not even matter what appointment time you have, because it's like even people that got there later than I did, because there was other people in line with me that I asked them, well, like, what time did you get here? 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
And I was there since earlier.
Oh my God.
And we were all like in the same line and everything. Like,
so I'm guessing people were probably there like at 5, probably.
Oh yeah.
Some people
like,
probably slept in the 10 across street. Like,
I wouldn't doubt it, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. And then like all security's super rude to you. Like, they don't even let you like stand in front of the consulate, because they're just like, get moving, like yelling at you, move, keep walking, get out of the way. Like, okay.
I haven't even gotten to the worst part.
Blowing whistles at you and everything.
See, I have anger issues. Right? I still deal with them out of them.
Nemo would have been in Mexican prison.
And then after they get all like these people in, after they get all these people in, I'm like, and then the workers that are there, you know, everybody's standing outside. It's been already like maybe 5 hours. And then these people that were working that are also standing outside, like security and all that, they decided to go inside, get some stools for themselves, and then just go ahead and prop themselves up.
They do that on purpose.
Yeah. I was like, wow.
Hey, just to stun on you, like,
yeah, like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm you my
Mexican
hurt,
American.
right?
That sucks.
Yeah. Oh, my feet hurt. I'm gonna go ahead and take a break.
Take a break.
While
right
everybody
there.
else is still waiting for hours on their feet, no bathroom, nothing. I remember I told Aaron there was a lady that was with her kid, because some kid, people go in there with their families. They're doing it as a family and stuff. Little boy, she's wanting to change his diaper. She's asking if she can go inside to go change his diaper. They said no. And she had to leave the line, go find somewhere else to go change his diaper, and then come back so that she can come back in line. But they're like, no, like, you can't go inside. Like, you can't do anything. And then all the waiting you do is all outside until it's finally like time for you to go like inside to do your appointment and stuff, and your interview. And it's just like a little window. Like, they just ask you questions, and that's
like
it.
a DMV office.
And it's all for like a 5-minute appointment.
I would never complain about the DMV again. I'll just say that.
Just be in line all day.
I'm never complaining ever again.
We got to tell you about the worst part though to wrap it up. Fast food was horrendous.
Oh yeah.
But y'all in Mexico, you better be eating some.
Oh, we were.
We were. I ain't going to the McDonald's in Mexico.
That's the only thing we were like. The only thing we're gonna miss is the cheap food.
Oh, bro.
I'd have to show you pictures. We had like a full table full of stuff for like $20.
Yeah, you go to a restaurant, right? You're expecting to pay like
$50,
$60 for like a meal, right? For you guys just going out. We spent $20.
Boy, like a feast.
And then, but we tipped $20 because I didn't know how much, like,
because everything's in pesos.
Like I was like, okay, well, give him $20 because the meal's like $60-$70 at least, and the meal it was like total of $22.
He's like, I gave him
100% tip. He was great though.
He was very.
They probably loved the crap out of you.
We went there twice.
I know.
He was all eager to serve us.
He's like,
what you need? I'll learn English for you, bro.
He's like, what do you need,
Yeah.
sir? Edon?
No, but the burgers for like fast food is like crumble cookies.
Yeah.
The
like
meat would just like
mushy.
crumble.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't meat.
no.
Or not meat that we're used to. They don't have like the FDA down there, whatever it is.
Yeah.
It was like
ground beef.
And I love burgers, and I'm
Yeah.
not like picky about stuff, but I had to like
a
take
sloppy
meat
Joe
out
is
and
what they
stuff.
said.
Yeah, like a sloppy Joe.
So you had a sloppy burger?
Yeah.
It was terrible.
It was bad.
That was the worst part of the trip.
But the Mexican food was bomb.
Mexican food was bomb.
got a lot.
Yeah,
And cheap.
And very cheap. And movies were cheap.
Yeah.
Bro, tickets were $4.
We spent $4 a ticket.
Yeah. How much are a ticket now over here? Like
$38.
Aaron's favorite part of the movies, they had
popcorn.
popcorn
Popcorn.
and every single seasoning that you ever wanted. In
But
your
it's
life.
already made. Like
Yeah.
you don't have to season it.
Right.
Like they have kettle corn. They have hot Cheeto popcorn.
boys, like, I get a little bit
Cheddar popcorn
They had like all
Whatever
kinds.
you want.
Yeah.
for like 50 cents for a big old bucket.
Yeah. For like a large.
Yeah, we paid $25 for
A little
something.
small.
Right?
That's the large ticket.
You eat 2 pieces of popcorn and that's it.
Can I get a water? Oh yeah, that'll be $15.
Over there, 25 cents.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Super
yeah.
cheap.
All right,
Yeah,
we're going
yeah,
to Mexico, babe. But just not where we're at.
Yeah, literally.
I mean, yeah.
What a-
Go to resort or something.
Right. So everything we're like, what is that in pesos? What is that in
Cheaper
dollars?
than the U.S.
Yeah, everything we were like converting.
So
We're
you were
like,
balling out. Well,
Bruh.
not balling, but like you enjoy your meal at least.
Spent a lot
because
of money
obviously-
there.
Well, no, I already knew that.
Oh yeah, so that was the last thing. So after I got approved, it was funny because it was like I said, I was waiting all day for a 5-minute appointment just for them to be like, oh wow, your profile is great. All right, you're approved. And then we had to wait still 5 more days in order for me to get
For
my visa
paperwork to
to come back.
process. So, total of 12 nights.
Well, I felt like y'all were gone for like a month and a
Dude,
half.
It felt like a
it.
long time.
I know for y'all, it probably felt a lot worse.
By
So,
day 10,
can't
I was
complain.
done. I had a breakdown. I was done.
Yep.
I was like, I want to get out of here, but we can't.
I know. Nope.
I was done.
That's crazy.
I
It's
will
over
say
though.
though, like we came back and I told Aaron, I was like, I didn't think I would have like some type of like trauma to it, but I did because we went to Walmart like I think like the day after we came back and we were with like Malia and stuff. We were at Walmart and there was like he was with Malia and like some other part and I was just like looking at shirts for him or whatever. And these 2 guys just like walked by. They weren't coming up to me, like they weren't doing anything. I just saw 2 guys just walk by and I like immediately like got scared. Like if I was back in Mexico, like
PTSD stuff.
like I needed to watch my back or like somebody was coming for me or something. Just because it's like over there, it's like you always feel like you have to like look over your shoulder and like something, somebody's gonna come get you or whatever. Because it's like you heard all this stuff, like don't make eye contact, don't look at me, all this stuff.
For 2 weeks.
Yeah, for 2 weeks. And it's like you're like on edge the entire time. And then you come back and it's like you obviously don't have to do that. And we literally crossed the border and it just felt like a weight was just like off.
Well, yeah.
Like it was just like, oh my God, I saw that sign and it's in English.
Yeah,
It
or
doesn't
our
say
police.
McDonald's.
Yeah.
Our police that smile at you and just have a
Yeah,
pistol instead of a
literally.
freaking assault rifle.
Yeah, police are walking around with freaking machine guns
Yeah.
That's
in the mall. Like, what?
It's pretty dope.
So
no,
yeah,
I mean, no,
we
it's
get
not.
back, and even
Sorry.
when we crossed back and we're on our way to the hotel, I was like, "Look, babe, there's a Chevron. I know that gas station."
Seriously.
But it was a different perspective for us to like be more grateful in what we have here, because it's like over there is just such a
It's
different.
just
world.
different.
And
That's crazy.
I think you said that too. Like, you didn't want to take things more for granted.
Yeah, it's
Of
just
what we have.
trying to do more now.
Mhm.
Go places. Do things.
Bowling.
A Yosemite
Not
trip?
bowling, bro. Not bowling.
Come on, bro. Just
Not bowling.
let me give you this work.
Not bowling.
Let me just give you this work real quick, and then just to show you, I suck.
With your custom bowling shoes and ball.
I do have custom bowling shoes. They're
You do?
Jordan 1 lows. Thank you very much.
I think that wraps it up.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
V, I apologize for you having to go through.
I mean,
Leads us to our second sponsor, BetterHelp.
as I talk to my therapist.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
That was.
We should get that sponsor. Huh?
It's a pretty good segue.
It's a pretty good segue. All right. Well, thank you for being our guest on this holiday weekend.
Of course.
And I'm sure we'll have you on again at some point. Probably with Ashley next time.
Mm-hmm.
Have one of those episodes.
Mm-hmm.
She just blankly stares.
And Sarai.
And Sarai, yeah.
Enjoy.
And we'll get
And
Joey on
Joey.
this side.
Joey, hey, Joey was our producer last week.
Yeah. Huh?
I know. I said all three y'all, or all three of us.
Oh yeah, worship leader right there. We'll get another worship leader up here.
A young worship leader, I thought.
Yeah.
I'm not young. Bro.
Well, yeah. Well, you called yourself old. I'm not gonna.
She never said that.
I never said that at all.
She kind of did. Just kidding.
All right, y'all. Hey, thank you for tuning in to this episode. And, me and Nemo will catch you on the next one. Peace.
Nos vemos.